The Conservatives have repeatedly used only one word to describe this NDP convention: reckless. That same adjective is being used to describe the policies being perpetuated by the NDP as well. Heritage Minister James Moore was the man behind the Conservative attack. Our National Bureau Chief David Akin at the Palais de Congrès joined up with Minister Moore, and he joins us now.
Well, we're joined now by Heritage Minister James Moore. He is one of the Conservatives observing this particular NDP convention. And Minister Moore, thank you for being here. And I guess, first of all, let me get your impression. Whether or not as a Conservative, you ought to be worried about what the New Democrats are doing here this weekend.
Interested. I don't know if worried is the right word. We'll see over time if there's cause for concern. But I do find interesting one thing I have to say. If we had a Conservative convention and we brought in Australian Conservatives and American Conservatives who are coming here and firing us up and giving us ideas on how to win, I think the media and certainly the opposition parties would say, wow, I guess the National Conservative Party has run out of steam and has to look outside the country, surrendering our sovereignty on decision-making, and they've run out of gas, and what happened to their ideas. And it seems to me the most interesting people who are here aren't actual card-carrying New Democrats, because they're not Canadians, and it's just a kind of a flat, awkward convention dynamic, I find.
When I ask about whether worried or not, obviously New Democrats here want to be the government. They're the official opposition now, and you guys would like to continue to be the government, I assume. So are you hearing some things here where you think your party is going to have to respond in order to maintain your status as government?
Well, always. Look, they are Canada's official opposition. They have 103 seats in the House of Commons, though I would note that in the past calendar year, including obviously when Thomas Mulcair became leader, the NDP has lost 3 members of Parliament, right? One has gone independent, one has gone to the Liberals, one has gone to the Bloc. So this is a party that still has real divisions. And you still hear being said from the hard left of the NDP that, Thomas Mulcair wants to be a social democrat and a moderate at the same time. He wants to convince us that he can carry on with the legacy of Jack Layton and the left. But he was also a cabinet minister in former progressive Conservative leader Jean Charest's provincial government. What kind of social democrat does that? So I think there's still some identity crises going on here within the soul of the party. So I think they still have a lot of work to do to present themselves as a truly national party with a sense of self-identity.
I wrote about this in our papers today. I see some similarities between your party in 2005, meeting here in the same hall, and also had to deal with some elements in your party that were perhaps not in the mainstream. And these guys, it seems to me, are trying to do something similar, maybe taking a page out of the Conservative book from 2005.
I suppose that's their attempt, but look, there are some pretty fringe policies that are being debated here. But Frank, take away the fringe policies where they condemn Israel, condemn Zionism, and they want to make pet shops illegal. All those resolutions that they pretended weren't actual in their guidebook, but they're there. The substance of what they are debating. There's no discussion here of balancing the budget. There's no discussing of lowering taxes for Canadians, only increasing taxes. There's no actual costing of their platform. Their finance critic, the finance critic for the shadow cabinet, the official opposition, Peggy Nash, has put forward a platform on the economy that doesn't actually have any numbers in it, that doesn't actually demonstrate how they would present themselves as an alternative financial managers to ourselves. It's very hard, I think, for Canadians who are very passionate about their country to see themselves and trusting themselves in a party that doesn't actually think that their alternative budget should have numbers in it.
Let me ask you the last question. For this weekend, we're seeing this convention here. The Liberals are going to name a new leader. It looks like it may be a guy named Justin Trudeau. How's that going to change things Monday in the House of Commons?
Well, it'll be interesting. It's always charged with a new energy when a new leader comes into the House of Commons. We saw that after the last election when Elizabeth May was elected. We saw that after Thomas Mulcair was selected. So it'll of course be interesting. It'll be a different dynamic, but we'll keep moving forward as a government. We have a Prime Minister that has the confidence of Canadians, who's doing a great job. Obviously, we're very proud of our government's fiscal and economic record and where Canada stands in the world at this point. And we'll see how Mr. Trudeau does. He hasn't been tested by this leadership race. Frankly, he hasn't been tested by the media, but I don't suppose the dynamic of the race is sort of shaped to be that way. But over the coming weeks, months, and a couple of years, he'll be tested, and we'll be testing him.
Minister James Moore, thank you.
Thank you.
At the NDP convention at the Palais de Congrès in Montreal, that was David Akin along with Heritage Minister James Moore.